Your arrest made headlines around the world, but you'll probably understand for some of my listeners here in the UK, they need a slight update of where we find ourselves. Can you just go into a little bit more detail, Mr. Khan, of the circumstances of your arrest last month?
Well, for your listeners, what is happening in Pakistan right now is that PTI, which is my party, which I started 27 years ago, is now by far the most popular party in the country. Out of the 37 by-elections in the last few months, we won 30 of them. And all the opinion polls say that we are way ahead of all the other parties. So unfortunately, what has happened is that the military establishment, which the previous army chief removed me from government, and he claimed it later on, he openly claimed it, that it was he who removed me. Since then, there is a sort of, even when the new army chief came, they have decided that whatever happens, I cannot come back into power. So in order to stop me from coming to power, what they have done is they have had various cases, almost 150 cases on me in the last few months to somehow get me disqualified. And then a lot of cases on my senior leadership. But what happened on that fateful day on 9th of May was that I was on bail. There was no way anyone could arrest me. And I was sitting in the High Court when it was like a commando action. It was not the police, but the army. And I could have just I wasn't going to put up a fight against these commandos.
No.
So they just barged in, destroyed the room which I was sitting in. They broke the windows, and then they took me as if I was some sort of a criminal, well, worse, even a terrorist. So that created a reaction.
So for people listening to this, they remember the time that you successfully led your country. Why the disconnect now between you, your party, and the military?
Do you know, I'm not sure. I mean, there are two or three things I think that the army chief, because, army is entrenched in Pakistan. It's ruled directly or indirectly in the last 70 years. So I had a good working relationship. There were things I disagreed with him because I wanted, to bring the powerful mafias under the law. And somehow that's where we differed, because later on I discovered that he had very good relationship with these political mafias. And so he was not interested. So that's one point of departure we had. And then there were certain foreign policy issues, which was none of his business, because I was the elected prime minister, and foreign policy in consultation with the Foreign Office was my jurisdiction. And so somehow he disagreed with some of my foreign policy decisions, and he decided to change horses. So he then backed who's now the prime minister, who was under trial for billions of rupees of corruption cases. So he backed him, and together they just toppled the government.